Hi, everyone. Welcome. We have a very special guest today. First time appearing on the podcast, but we got CoolFrasier.
Yes, hello. I'm CoolFrasier, and I'm listening, and I'm cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of. Just kidding. I don't know why I said that. I was not a fan of Frasier. I don't know if I ever have seen an episode, um, but I know you've built your identity around that TV show, so it's an honor to have you here.
Yes, thank you. And once again, I'm listening, and I'm cool.
um, well, how you been doing, CoolFrasier?
Well, see, that's the thing. I've actually come across some hard times recently. Uh, I
Hmm.
mean, I'm kind of hesitant to talk about it. It's been a rough past few weeks. I've
Well,
come.
we can get into it here, and then and then if it's if you're not comfortable with any of it, I'll just edit it out. But I'd love to hear it.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's just, my family, they've come come upon some hard times, and I've been, doing my best to keep my head above water, and it's been really difficult to say the least, with all that's been going on, and I mean, not to belabor it any longer, but I guess.
Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. I have a sponsor for today, which is kind of a milestone for me. Sponsored by MeUndies.com. Everyone needs underwear. At MeUndies.com, we exist to help you feel good. At MeUndies, we're all about one thing: making the best basics in town so you can feel and be your absolute best. So uh, go to MeUndies.com, promo code CoolFrasier. Man, I can't believe I almost forgot to do that. They would have been so mad if I'd forgotten to do the ad read for MeUndies. Are you familiar with MeUndies?
Oh, of course. I always wear me undies. They're the only undies that I wear.
What print do you get?
Uh, the Ninja Turtle scientist print.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like pizza slices. It's like they got this design with like that's like a pizza and like
Oh,
farm
did,
animal.
did you see the Goblin design? It's just got the
Oh
goblins on it.
no, I haven't. But I do know you're kind of a goblin expert, aren't you?
I mean, I definitely am a connoisseur of Goblin videos.
Well, let's get into that. Let's get into tell me about goblin videos.
Well, I mean, obviously goblins are real. That goes without saying. But
Yeah.
the problem with goblins is they're really hard to catch on camera. But there's lots of compilations on YouTube, like five goblins caught on camera, that you can actually see like five whole goblins that are caught on camera.
How big is a typical goblin? Are they like the size of a fox or
Um, I'd say fox or smaller. Yeah, sometimes
mm,
you'll get a really small goblin, like one that can fit in your pocket.
mm,
But there's
mm,
also 10 unexplained goblin sightings from all over the world. That one's really good because they've got the Brazilian goblin.
hmm.
They
Now
call it El Goblincho. That's what it's called.
what does a goblin do when if you have a goblin problem at your house? How would you know first of all, and how do you fix it?
Um, they're always like rustling in the garbage, and
So
they run around, like they'll run by you really fast.
when they go in when they go in the trash, are they looking for food or precious metals or what enchanted items?
Yeah, mostly enchanted items like dual enchantments or epic rares or legendaries items.
So what would you tell someone who what would you tell someone to keep the goblins away? Is there a certain method of disposing enchanted items that they should be
No,
doing?
you just gotta film them. Just catch them on film and then post it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. So if they that's the best deterrence is just to
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a goblin the other day.
wow. But okay, so well, I'll put some links in the show notes to best
Yeah,
goblin videos,
I'll
some of
send
your
you my
favorites.
goblin playlist so you can see all the goblins.
Okay. All right, cool, Frasier. So, I mean, the purpose of us gathering today was to talk about upcoming movies that we have not seen yet. We've only watched the trailers. Maybe we can also talk about things that we're currently watching that we like. Um, what do you what have you been watching lately? And should our loyal listeners do the same? Should they watch it too?
Yeah, yeah. So today, didn't you say that, like, in the email you sent to set this up? Didn't you call this the Granite's grab bag?
Um, probably. I probably wrote that.
That's the name of this episode, Granite's grab bag.
Yeah, this is a grab bag episode.
Um,
We're doing
are we doing
goblins.
what we're watching first, or do we want to do trailers first?
Um,
Actually, please vote in the comments below. Do you want trailers first, or
yeah,
do you want what we're watching currently first?
we'll end the episode right now and put it
We'll
out
we'll then
as
tally
is,
the votes
and then come
and
back
then
and finish.
continue to record. Yeah.
Let's do what you're watching.
Okay.
Let's do that first. I,
Well, I
yeah.
I don't want to get into it too much because I think you want to do an episode on it. But I did watch There Will Be Blood for the first time to expand my dive into the Danoverse,
Hmm.
which is obviously the Paul Dano universe of films.
Yeah. Yeah. And that movie you get two Danos for the
A
price of
double
one.
Dano, as they call it.
He plays two roles, or does he? I don't know. It's
Yeah, yeah, that's what I like. Are we allowed to talk about it at all, or should I just share my personal review?
yeah. Just jump into your review.
Yeah, it was excellently filmed, cinematography, you know, put together very capably. So it's a good movie. It's too much for me, man.
Yeah.
Can't handle it. It's
It's
too much blood that there will be. But no, it's good, and it wasn't what I thought it was, having not seen it for what is it, 14 years now or something? Did it come out in 2008 or something?
it was one of the 2007s. It was one of the that
Oh, was
special.
it?
Yeah, it was one of the special 2007
Oh,
class.
so it must have come out after I went on my mission because I left in 2007.
Hmm.
So yeah, I missed it on my mission, and then everyone was like, "You got to see There Will Be Blood," but I guess I thought it was just like a western, like a cool guy western, and I was like, "Eh," and it kind of is, but like, there's more to it than just a western.
Yeah, it's like a the original book that it's based on is like a critique of capitalism, but the movie is really more just a critique of mental illness.
I thought it was more like a critique of greed in general.
Greed.
Like,
Yeah, I guess I say critique
uh,
of mental illness. I guess I don't mean that exactly. I just mean that the movie's more about mental illness to
yeah,
me, I think.
yeah, more like a mania or just somebody who can't,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you've seen it even if it was too much.
Yeah, it was too much. But if you like um, movies, you've probably already seen it and you already know about it.
But if you're like
So
23 and you like movies and you've somehow found this show on YouTube, you probably haven't seen it.
yeah, yeah, the one like I really liked. The thing I liked about it was the cinematography almost like aided in the storytelling and the mood, setting the schmood of the film.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of like really close in shots that kind of get you that kind of claustrophobic feeling, but like you're kind of supposed to feel uncomfortable. And so yeah, it's like it's good. And then yeah, Daniel Day Lewis is Day Lewising it up, the
Yeah.
Day Lewisverse as it's called, which we'll dive into eventually.
Yeah. He probably took years off his life doing his character acting thing on that one.
Hmm.
They say he really jumped down that well, that mine. He jumped down it just to
Oh,
be
really?
convinced. I just made that up, but
Oh.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny if
He
I
really smashed that guy with that piece of wood.
yeah,
That guy just got smashed
yeah, Paul
or
Dano.
smooshed.
Yeah. um I'll go with something I was watching. HBO just put out this Tokyo Vice thing.
Oh yeah,
I
is
guess
it good?
it's yeah, I think so. And the first episode I guess was directed by Michael Mann. I don't think he directed the rest of it, or maybe he's involved as a producer or something. Um I'll say not a criticism. It's a maybe a little slow. I've only watched like 1.5 episodes, but it has the feeling of something that's going to be good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it will disappoint, but it's good so far. The premise is, uh, I don't. I mean, I don't care about spoilers, but I'll keep it simple to avoid spoilers. White guy in Japan who has integrated himself as much as he can into Japanese culture. He speaks the language at a high level.
Is it
And
in Japanese a lot, like with subtitles?
yeah,
Mm,
first 1.5 episodes are at least 70% Japanese. Um, and yeah, it's Ansel Elgort. And I guess he learned Japanese for the role, or is at least faking it.
mm,
I wouldn't know if it's his Japanese is any good. Maybe it's bad. I don't know. But but yeah, he plays a guy who wants to be a journalist in Japan, and in Japan, they, unlike America, they don't really let foreigners do cool stuff like that. Um, so it's like controversial that he becomes a journalist, and he also has more of an American mindset. He wants to like do cool journalistic stuff, but they're like, no, you just do what we tell you. So
mm.
that's the main conflict so far that I've seen.
So
But it's
the
a
Ansel
yeah
Elgortiverse.
yeah, and it's a organized crime thing. It's like he's
Yakuza.
like yeah, he's interested in the yakuza, and but everyone's like, stay away from that. That's not your business. So
Mm,
cool so far, and I think it's set in like '99 or '97, or it's set in the '90s.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, which I think so far, the fact that it's in the '90s doesn't seem that important, other than like I'm wondering if people are writing shows and movies like that just to get around the annoying the aspect, like just to get around the internet and smartphones.
Right, you
So it's
can't
like,
Google it.
yeah, so make forces the plot in different ways. Maybe there will be relevance at some point to the '90s setting, but so far not really. But it's pretty good.
On the Ansel Elgortiverse, I tried to watch West Side Story
Mm.
because like it seemed like it got good reviews, right? I think Oscar buzz. Oscars happened already, right?
I think they did. Yeah, they did. I don't know if it won anything
I
or
don't know what won or what didn't win, but assuming it didn't win, but still it was like in contention or whatever. He's in it playing a high school student, even though like he's been playing a high school student for like a decade now.
Mhm.
Um, and I couldn't get past about 30 minutes. I got bored because they were just kind of dancing and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to even try that. Spielberg did it, right?
Yeah, like it's good and it looks good. It's very well put together. I don't care about the music and I don't care about it at all.
Yeah.
So I just stopped watching it.
Yeah, I think, when Spielberg does something like that, it's like he's trying to go and relive his youth or something. It's probably very appealing to 75-year-old Jewish guys from Brooklyn or something.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think my parents saw it and liked it, but I'm just like I just don't care. And I'm not a musical person at all. I don't understand them. I don't get why people like them.
Yeah, Elgort's all right though. I mean, he's you ever see Baby Driver?
I actually haven't seen Baby Driver, which is one I need to
I
see.
think you'd like Baby Driver.
I
It's
think I would too.
it's mostly action. It's mostly just like the kind of the most the story is an excuse just for putting together like 10 music videos basically.
Right. And the problem with that is I can't certain movies like just I can't watch with my wife and that would be one of them. She would have no interest in Baby Driver.
Yeah.
And
There's a I
so
mean,
my
there's
wife
a romance
being
subplot or main
my
plot, I
wife
guess.
being cool Lilith Sternin, by the way. Um, and yeah, so no, she doesn't like romance movies. My wife doesn't like any fiction, which is kind of an interesting
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Oh, well, we
She,
should talk about, real quick, Love Is Blind.
yeah, we did watch Love Is Blind. She likes
Because
reality
that's not
shows.
fiction, yeah.
Yeah, because it's
It's real.
it's real, even though it's probably fake, but it's also real.
Yeah. I saw the season 1 of Love Is Blind, like, when it came out,
Hmm.
um, and then I saw this new one recently. I think you watched them both recently, but,
Yeah, we watched Love Is Blind 2 first, and then went back and watched the first one.
well, which season was better?
Um, I don't know. Two seemed to be more interesting, I guess, but also I didn't watch the whole one of season one. My wife kind of just like uh speed ran it without me, and so I didn't get as invested in the relationships.
Mm. Yeah, it's a very there's something I don't know how to put it. There's something very off and weird about that show. Well, simultaneously there is something that I think it makes a point that I think is important, which is um like in the right circumstances and with weird enough incentives, people can, fall in love or whatever with someone they don't know. Um and then I guess that for anyone listening who's never going to bother watching the show, I'll just say, the premise is they put these young singles in these rooms next to each other, like jail cells basically, but you can't see each other, so you can just talk. So they develop a relationship by just talking, and like a bunch of them claim they like fall in love, and
Well, and a big
yeah,
piece of it too is like the youngest is maybe like 28, and
yeah,
the like probably the mean age is like 34, and then like there's some like older and some a little younger.
yeah. And the way they do the casting is it's like they all at least claim that they're anxious to get married, like they all want to get married and
Hmm.
and move
Like
on
they're
with that.
tired of dating.
Yeah. And so I'm from that point of view, I'm like, okay, this is like kind of I kind of like this because it is like a pro marriage show. Um
Yeah, and
although
they've got
yeah.
the Lachey's
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of, telling them to get married.
Yeah. But then the personalities, of course, I mean just the nature of any reality show, you're drawing in very weird people, very broken people who would agree to go on Netflix and do this in front of people, like only someone who's like got some problems.
Well,
So
yeah, they're probably all narcissists and social media influencers prior
and
to going on the show, I would assume.
yeah, I wonder about that. I didn't. I mean, I obviously I looked them up after the show, and
Uh-huh.
they all have like big followings now. So it's like I guess one motivation to go on the show. You could go on the show, go through the motions, pretend you care about the whole thing, but the point was just to gain a following. I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised if that's what some of them did.
Well, I think that's what like all reality shows are now. Is just like
Yeah,
I'm an Instagram person with 10,000 followers. I'm gonna go on a reality show to promote my brand. But yeah,
yeah. These guys all had like it seemed like they all had like 200,000 now after being on the show. So they're all
yeah.
meaningfully big influencers now.
Oh, and for those who haven't seen the show, the premise is we should do this for the Gregs in the audience.
Yeah, yeah. This is
The
all over the
premise
place.
is you go into these booths, these rooms that there's a wall separating you, and you can talk to various different people of the opposite sex, which also I find interesting about this Netflix show. Like, there's no same sex dealings. It has to be male female. But anyway, um, like yeah, and you just talk to the people, and the only way you get to meet them is if you decide to propose to them, quote unquote propose,
Yeah.
right? And so the only time you meet is when you propose. So like you could be talking to a big fat lady, or a guy with one arm. I'm just joking because they don't have any of those. Like most of the people are either, you know, they range from maybe fives to to eights.
Yeah, that's the 5 to 8 thing is actually really funny because none of them are that attractive. Like
None of them
there's
are that attractive. None of like there's maybe one or two girls that are like, okay, yeah, they're attractive. There's maybe one or two guys who seem like, they're tall and,
yeah,
have a good career or whatever. But yeah, none of them are like knockout model types.
yeah.
And then also none of them are extremely ugly. There's no morbidly obese people. Um yeah.
Yeah, there's plus size people, but not like yeah, not 600-pound life sort of thing.
Right. There might be like one chick who's, pushing 200 or something. But yeah, I kind of wish they would throw in like a midget or a or like like a guy missing an arm or like one of those like Agent Orange guys, like
Yeah.
the little hands. Um, like just really get weird with it. Like that's the show I would watch because like
Yeah.
then you really don't know what you're getting. Like you just get a guy kind of like a slug man scooting his way out, and you have to like propose to that or whatever.
Slug man.
Yeah, like his legs have just kind of withered, and he has to like scoot along the ground with his arms.
Yeah, this is a good idea. Yeah, they should do yeah, Love is Blind like circus edition or something.
Yeah, and then have like regular looking people mixed in, so it's like you don't know what you're getting, and like then it's like really a grab bag, like
Yeah.
and you're really gambling, and then it's really about like because what this really is it's like would you be okay if your wife is just okay looking? It's like, well, yeah, I guess that wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah, so well for anyone who has seen the show, I'll just go ahead and say actually, you mentioned the gay thing. Season 1 had a gay guy, or he was like bi, I
Yeah, I
guess.
remember that, and the lady like hated him for it.
Yeah, he's like, "I gotta confess, I'm more into guys than I am into you," and she's like, okay, this is over."
Yeah, which you'd think maybe you would bring that up before you propose to someone, but
Yeah. Um, and then I guess, so yeah, for anyone who's seen it, I would say the main drama of this second one was this guy Shane and this girl Shayna, which is funny that they have the same names basically because they're kind of the same person, and
yeah,
they even look like each other. And they were like a very obvious fit, and they both liked each other, but like through just like silliness and pride, they kind of like got in a fight, and then neither of them ended up getting married to anyone. But they like it seemed. I mean, it was. But then they didn't like hook up later or anything. They both just went off and became influencers.
yeah, yeah. And he the big embarrassing part was he thought he was talking to the other girl who he ended up proposing to, but
Yeah,
he and or no, he thought he was talking to Shayna, but he was
yeah,
talking to the Asian,
yeah,
and he and then yeah, kind of caught himself out talking to the wrong person, and yeah,
yeah,
he was kind of having like fairly um illicit conversations with the Shayna chick,
yeah, yeah. And then
unbeknownst to the humble Asian.
yeah, and then him and the Asian girl almost got married, but then it was like it was their whole thing was obviously forced, like from the whole. It's like he was like going along with it almost because he like had to. He was even up to the altar. He was like still trying to make. He was still trying to correct for that mistake in the booth where he thought it was the wrong girl. So
Mm.
it's like he like uh I don't know. It's like he was still trying to like own up to that by saying, "No, no, no, I do like you. I do. I really do."
Yeah, I didn't really believe it either. But the other one I was going to mention is the Indian guy in it. He's supposed to be like almost like the evil guy
Yeah,
of the
he was the
show, but
heel. He was the bad guy.
he's the best guy. He makes the most sense to
He's the
me.
most he's the most clear-headed, and the bad guys
Yeah.
often are.
And then also like this show is trashy and bad and you shouldn't watch it. But I like watching these trashy bad relationship shows. One because it's like kind of like tragic, and it's like us watching like the decline of the civilization.
Hmm.
And it's like, man, like these people suck, and
Yeah.
like their lives are sad, because like they're all like pushing mid 30s, and like they just have done nothing, and it's like it almost seems like from like graduating college, I guess, or like high school or college, like being around 2021 to like now, they've essentially been stagnant. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing to them, and they're just lonely people who like you know, have never known love. And then it's like, oh, now I'm ready to settle down. And it's almost like I just think it's weird. Old people getting married is weird to me.
I
Like
do
you're
too.
old.
Yeah. Um, it actually is the whole thing is feels like a unintentional critique of like modernity and neoliberalism and stuff because they
Exactly.
all of them, especially the girl, all of them, the guys too, they all seem to have bought into like the career first thing.
Hmm.
And yeah, like if any of them, all of them seem to want kids, but like a lot of these girls are like 34, 35,
Yeah,
and
and even the ones who like end up getting married or whatever, they're like talking about kids, and it's like you guys are too late. Like,
well, and even then, I think I remember one of them saying like not right away, but like wait a while. And it's
yeah,
like
they're like,
you
well,
don't really
in
have that much
five
time.
years we'll think about it, and it's like you'll be 40.
Yeah,
No, yeah, I find it very odd that this is like this is the age people are portraying you should be thinking about marriage, you know?
yeah,
And none of them are portrayed as like, oh, I'm too old to get married or anything, or I'm past my prime. It's like, oh, now it's marriage time because I'm 34. And it's like, it seems like just such a waste of life. Like, and I mean, marriage has changed. I get it. Like, the age has pushed back, but like, I almost feel like people who don't get married young are missing out on like a big part of life that existed for millennia for all our ancestors, where you kind of like grow with your spouse
hmm,
and like build something together. Whereas this is like almost like a business arrangement where it's like, yes, we both have built our things and now we will join them together.
yeah,
It's like, I don't know, it's just weird.
yeah. I'm not optimistic as either for that white couple that got married, like that tall guy who looked like the Dax Shepard.
Uh-huh.
Um, that girl, she seemed certifiable. Like I don't, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
Um, and
she was
then
nuts.
yeah, and then the black couple, they maybe would work. I don't know. He still seemed like he seems like an idiot and like a playboy and
Hmm. Yeah, because wasn't he like out partying like the night before their wedding or something?
yeah, and then yeah, that one they'll maybe last, but if they last, it's just because that girl is accommodating.
Yeah, and the other one, it's that guy is just like, I don't know, he's the white guy is like a pushover. And
Yeah,
like he's just like, I'll put up with your craziness for a little bit. And he just is like sitting there like seething,
maybe
putting up
you
with
can't
this crazy chick.
maybe you can't remember it, but didn't he look and sound like Dax Shepard?
I don't I'm seeing it now, but maybe I don't know Dax Shepard enough. I need to go back into the Daxiverse.
Yeah, you need to go watch Employee of the Month that was filmed at a Costco.
Yeah. Yeah. Dane Cook.
Dane Cook and Dax Shepard.
So they
And
should do a
what
dating
Jessica
show
Simpson.
about Dane Cook where girls get to date Dane Cook. And he just like quotes his old jokes to him that he
he
stole
quit
from other people.
that he stole from Louis C.K.
Yeah. The other one I have is Moon Knight, which I know you haven't seen.
Oh yeah, Moon Knight Shyamalan.
Yeah, Moon Knight Shyamalan. It is um so far it's enjoyable. Okay. Now let's talk about the Marvel universe. Um, people hate it, people love it. I am not like a Marvel fanboy necessarily. I never have. I well, actually, I did read X-Men comics when I was a kid, but not seriously. I just had a couple.
Mhm.
Um, but basically, it's a series. There's been 2 episodes so far. Actually, the third one just came out today. I haven't watched it yet, but um, It's basically Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, but in the Marvel universe. That's the idea, which is already the Incredible Hulk. So it's just that, but instead of being the Hulk, he's an Egyptian mummy guy.
He's a Moon Knight.
Yeah, he's a Moon Knight. And you've got Oscar Isaac. He's a good actor. I like him.
Hmm.
And he's playing multiple roles because the idea of this one is it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but the guy has multiple personality disorder. So it's like it's the mental illness Marvel hero, I guess. And so it's interesting. There's a few things I'll say about it, but like if you watch these Marvel series, it's just as good as any of the other ones. I don't know if it'll end up being good because some of the other ones ended up being not very good. The CGI in it though is kind of spotty. There's like a car chase in the first one, the first episode, and it's kind of bad because the cars are very obviously CGI. And it's like cars are one thing you think you could get right, but like it just looks weightless, like these weightless cars chasing each other and falling off a cliff.
Hmm.
And then there's
What's that?
also
What's that called? Beam NG or whatever. You know, Beam. That like it's like that
uh,
effects engine or something. My son watches these Beam videos on
oh
YouTube that are just like buses going down hills and crashing.
oh yeah yes, I've heard of that. I'm not familiar with the name, but yeah, I've seen like the cars and buses get launched down a hill or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's supposed to
Yeah,
be a simulator, I think.
that's kind of what it looks like. Like it looks like Gran Turismo 3, and I'm like, man, haven't we moved beyond this since PS2 graphics? But yeah, so anyway, and then there's also like a Egyptian animal attack in the next one, and yeah, it's like it looks obviously fake and dumb, and so that's not the best, but the premise is kind of interesting. It's not quite the same as other Marvel stuff. It's a little bit more. It's a little different. So I'm gonna keep watching it just because why not? And if anyone else like really likes it, I don't know. It's
They should have called him like Lunar Knight or something because
mm,
Moon Knight is kind of weird to start the next
mhm.
letter.
It's the
And
Mooninites.
yeah, to end the word on an N sound and then start the next one on an N sound. Kind of
Yeah,
kind of weird.
it's um it's apparently like they're playing it a little different than the comics too, because in the comics Moon Knight is like a cool guy who like gets powers, but in this it's like a lame guy who gets powers.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm in the camp that says keep powers away from lame guys.
mhm. The other thing is the guy. One of his personalities is British and one is American, and the British personality is a vegan kind of incel loser, and and then the American personality is like a cool Chad who like eats a lot of meat.
So when he's in American mode, he's just pounding meat.
Yeah, he's just like pounding back steaks, just like
Uh,
going to town on the steaks.
that's an
Um,
interesting character thing they chose to do.
yeah, yeah, and then but yeah, we'll see how it goes. The issue I've had with these Marvel Disney Plus shows, because I've watched them all because I'm a movie guy. I watch things.
Hmm.
People are like, why would you watch that? And it's like, because I can. That's why. And it's mildly entertaining.
We were talking about the Love Is Blind thing. I mean, I watch something like that and I sit back and I just think, wow, I'm so above this.
Right.
I'm better than this. Wow. So, that's a thing that you can do.
Yeah. And so yeah, I am better than everyone else. Um so but yeah, so the issue with these Disney Plus Marvel shows is there's never really a good payoff. Um like so WandaVision ends with this big like red space battle and it's just kind of dumb. It was like cool all the way through, but then it just got really dumb at the end.
Yeah.
the Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's almost like nothing. Like there's literally nothing in that show. Like it was cool and it was like setting up for like some big, Captain America being black reveal. But then it was literally just like it ended with him giving a speech about how like racism is bad, but Disney is okay because it's doing its best. Okay, and like it was like the most like middling, like non-committal anti-racism speech ever given. Like,
Yeah, the big challenge with these these all these Marvel properties is that they sometimes they try and tie them all together. Sometimes they're like, "Mm, we're not. It doesn't matter on this one. This one's standalone." But you don't always know which. And if they are trying to tie them together, that puts a huge like that's a huge burden on whoever's like making the that specific show, because it's like this has to tie back into like 50 other things. So like what's left for me to do? Like I
right, but kind of what they do is they do these like big like black boxes where it's like what's it gonna be? Which bad guy is it gonna be? And then it's just like, oh, it was the Flermadoo from Clobberdune. And you're like,
Mhm.
oh, that guy? Like, it's not anything. Like, I don't care about that. And so, like, yeah, I guess they could have pulled from the wider universe or something, but like, I don't even care about that. Just make it like interesting, and also like have more action in these shows because like it's a action comic book thing, and then they'll literally do like an episode with zero action in it, and it's like, well, what am I watching this for? You know.
Mhm.
The other one is Loki, which I actually liked. Loki is probably the best one so far.
Mm.
But
So I think I've seen none of these, but it's not because I'm too good for them. It's because I just can't like it's not just a knee jerk Marvel thing. It's I
mhm.
just when I think about watching them I just don't want to. So I don't. But it's not but I mean I would watch at least one of those, but
I think you would like WandaVision up until the last two episodes.
that's the one I had the least reservations about. So maybe I
Yeah,
will try that one.
because it's just a bit of fun. And then there's a Malcolm in the Middle episode.
Hmm.
Because each episode's a different decade or era of sitcom,
Yeah,
and one,
I had heard that.
yeah, and so it's just kind of fun, and it's like, hey, this is kind of fun and funny, and but then if you're waiting for a payoff at all in the end of the season, because like, yeah, there's just none of that. So
Mhm. Okay, cool. All right. So we watched some trailers.
yes, we did.
Let's do the Northman first. I don't have a lot to say other than it looks pretty cool.
We should. That's every trailer.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
looks
you
cool.
remember remember Chris Farley doing those interviews, the interview thing he did on SNL where he'd just be like,
Yeah,
"Remember
that was
remember when you
awesome.
were in the Beatles?" That was awesome.
You remember when
So
he caught the spear and then threw it back at him like immediately, like did a little twirl, and you remember
that was
that?
cool.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Remember when Bjork was in it?
That's right. She's in it, isn't she?
Yeah, that was awesome too.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you
I
got
what has Bjork been up to?
yeah, Bjork's all right, and
I
you know
feel like
she's
Giordano would be a Bjork guy.
I bet he is. Yeah,
I don't know that for a fact, but he gives off that vibe.
yeah, friend of the podcast, Giordano, whose book
Oh,
just dropped.
can we
So
do a review of the book?
yeah,
We'll have to have him on it
as soon as
maybe.
I read it, yeah,
But yeah,
we should do a review and make him. He has to sit there silently and listen to our review.
well, I read the first two chapters and it's great and everybody should pick it up. Go to the link in the description below to purchase it
Yeah, I'll put a
because
link
I don't
to the Mambo Wizard,
the Mambo Wizard.
which I mean, I think the target audience is like young teens, young
Hmm.
adult fiction, but you know, even if you're an adult, that's not shouldn't stop you. I mean, you probably watch Marvel stuff, so
I
that's
was
all.
laughing while reading it. It's good. It's a good time.
Yeah. All right. So this the Northman looks pretty cool. You know, we got a jacked white guy running around being a Northman.
He is
Uh,
being a Northman, and he is Alexander Sarsgaard. There's also a guy named Bill Sarsgaard in it. Are they related?
I think those guys are brothers,
Okay.
and I think they're Swedish, right?
Okay.
No, they're not. These aren't Sar. These are the Skarsgårds, not the
Skarsgård,
Sar.
not Sarsgaard.
Yeah, and I think their dad is a famous guy too.
Here, let me look up Alexander Sarsgaard. Skarsgård. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård is his brother, and his parent is Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, and there's like three or
Oh
four
yeah, he's a
brothers.
guy. I've seen him in things. He's
Yes.
in Dune. He's the bad. He's the guy in Dune.
Which one?
The Baron.
Oh yeah, yeah, their dad. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay. That place is okay. I'm for this then.
Because they're related to a guy from Dune.
Yeah, and they kind of give you the plot. It seems like it's a revenge ploy. Ethan Hawke being the dad. Also, Ethan Hawke is in Moon Knight. It's the Hawkiverse.
Hmm.
One of the other things I watched as well. I'm derailing your conversation, but
No,
the
I don't
other
care.
thing I watched was another Ethan Hawke, which was
Gattaca.
Gattaca. But we're saving that for Greg. But it's
Yeah.
hard to schedule with that guy.
If only Greg was more hardworking.
Yeah, if only. Yeah, he does. I just don't see him as a Gattaca, you know.
He wouldn't make it.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he's in it. I'm all for Ethan Hawke stuff, so that's why I'm watching Moon Knight. And then, but yeah, so it looks like young guy has his dad killed in front of him, gets exiled, and then makes his way back with a Anya Taylor Joy in tow to maybe help him. I think
It
she's
looks
a
like she's doing witchcraft.
yeah, she's a witch, maybe studied under Bjork.
Here's what I bet happens. He relies on her to help, but then in the third act, she tries to like usurp power or something using witchcraft, and he has to fight her too. I bet.
Usurp. Um, and yeah, I think yeah, she seems to be slightly shady. Um, but also, what accent is she doing? I don't
Well, her
understand
her
that.
character is Olga of the Birch Forest.
So she's Slavic.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, that makes sense. But I'm like, is she like just like an American who talks funny, or is she like supposed to be an Argentinian British person? Because I think that's what she is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or
Speaking of which,
Spanish.
I am a fan of wide pupillary distances, so nobody should make fun of her weird looking eyes because they're so far apart.
They've grown on me. I don't have a problem with them.
Well, if you look, I'm looking at the cast right now, and it has Skarsgård next to her. Skarsgård has kind of close set eyes,
A lot
so
of
they're pairing the close set eyes with the wide set eyes to make like this the perfectly set eye baby.
yeah, to make her look even more like a witch, I guess.
Yeah,
But a lot of Nordic people do have kind of close eyes. That's something I've noticed. I don't know if that's
I think
real,
it's
but
like a Nord v Med thing. Yeah.
well, the movie looks good. It looks intense. It looks violent.
It looks
Um,
cinematographically. That's a word that you learn in cinema
yeah,
school that I've been to, the cinema school of the Southwest.
yeah,
And yeah, it looks really cool. The cast is cool. We got Defoe and Kidman.
yeah.
You can just say their last names and everyone knows.
Uh huh.
But yeah, looking forward to it. Um, isn't it? Is it out yet? Yeah,
I
it's
think
out.
it's out
I,
like
I
this
could
week.
go see it right now, I
I think it's
guess.
out. I thought it came out like
Oh,
Friday in the U.S. I think it's
yeah,
out
it
other
comes out
places, but
Thursday. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, I think uh, online white people are gonna like this movie. I think it's for them.
It's definitely absent of the famed African American Vikings. Um, for some reason, I'm against that because that's obviously a big part of history that we need to include and be inclusive of.
Yeah, I won't be. I won't be too surprised if they find a few.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks cool, looks actiony, looks like it might be too much, as I say.
Yeah, I bet
So
it's.
I'm
I bet
hoping
it's
it's
too
not too
much.
much.
I bet there's some axes that go into the backs of heads.
That's all right. Like I'm a big Braveheart guy. That level of violence is okay, but it's almost like they take it a little too far sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one.
all right,
Um,
Northman. Wait, let's predict our uh, ratings.
um, it looks really entertaining, so I'm guessing the audiences will like it. I'm gonna say like 85 audience, and then for the critic, it looks really entertaining, but I'm guessing it's like they're gonna say it's stupid in some way. So, but still pretty good. So I'm gonna put critics at like 75.
I'm gonna go 80 critic and 70 audience because I think
Oh,
there's gonna be too much weird stuff for people to like it.
too many Bjork scenes.
Too many Bjorks, yeah. Too many Defoes.
All right. So the next one I wanted to look at was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage. What did you
Yes,
think? What did you think of the trailer?
it looks fun. It looks like a movie I would watch. Um,
Hmm.
it looks like oh, I just played it, but yeah. What do you think the plot is of this one?
Well, they give it away kind of in the
Yeah,
trailer. The plot, as I understand it, is Nicolas Cage is down on his luck, unlike the real Nicolas Cage, who is just had great luck. But
yeah,
he's down on his luck, and his agent or friend, played by that gay man whose name I'm forgetting, Doogie Howser. His agent, who's played by Doogie Howser, is like, "Hey, I got this job for you. This guy wants to pay you $1 million to come to his birthday party or something like that." And so he takes the job because he needs the money. He meets the guy. The guy's like his number one fan. The guy is played by uh,
Mandalorian.
the Mandalorian. Yeah.
Hmm.
So him and the Mandalorian seem to hit it off. They become great friends. But then the CIA or something is like, Mr. Cage, this guy is a bad guy. We need your help to like arrest him or bring him down or
Yeah,
whatever.
and
So
then
that's the
hijinks
plot.
ensue.
Yeah, hijinks ensue, and there's one line where he's like, I don't want to shoot you because I love you," and the other guy's like, "I love you too," and so they're best friends, but they're at odds.
Hmm.
Which that all seems just, I mean, that's all just like just an excuse to just do fun Nick Cage stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and I wonder if the movie will be good or not. Like the actual movie, like the premise sounds funny. I'm on
I
board with the premise.
I get a hint of good. It seems like it's gonna be good.
I agree with that, but then it could just be bad. There's a possibility.
Yeah, we live uh we live in a society where
Yeah.
some movies are good, some
The
movies are bad.
question I was thinking about this one is Nicolas Cage the perfect person for this premise?
I think so. I think he's if not
Is
intent.
there any other actor that maybe of years past or present that would fit in here,
Well,
either close to or as good as or better than Nick Cage?
he's done this thing where he's made this like self-awareness part of his whole brand, like
Hmm.
where he seems always down to like let himself be part of the joke. Like that seems like something he's done for a long time. So he seems like the right guy. I don't know who else would be good for this. Do you have someone in mind?
Let me think. Could we get like uh,
Who
I,
else would
I
be willing
I
to
was
play
like Jim
themselves?
Carrey, but I hate Jim Carrey
And
as himself
I don't think
especially.
Jim Carrey is a very good natured guy. I don't think he
No,
is.
yeah, he's not. Um, I'm trying to think of like an actor who's maybe kind of like interesting and funny that hasn't been around in a bit.
Well, I
Like Bruce Willis, but Bruce Willis is apparently
yeah.
down on his luck.
He needs this movie actually
Yeah,
more than Nick. He needs to be invited to a party for $1 million.
yeah. That's like that's just a biography.
That's a documentary.
He's just like whatever money I can get, man. Oh
Um,
man.
well, okay, so I don't. He's not the right guy, but you know who does? Tom Hanks does this thing where
Mhm.
every like twice a year I see a headline where it's like Tom Hanks, photobombed someone's wedding. Like he does that stuff like that. He likes to do that, I guess.
Mhm.
He, uh,
You know, I think the other angle you could take it, other than Nick Cage, would be going action star,
oh yeah,
like like Mel Gibson or something like that. Would be funny.
oh yeah.
But
Do you see the video of Mel Gibson like changing someone's tire or something?
uh-uh.
It's funny. Maybe it was his own tire, but anyway, some guy was like filming him. He's just like, "How do you know how to do this?" He's like, it's just a basic skill."
Yeah, you just unscrew and rescrew. Um, hmm.
But Nick Cage, I mean, I think he's the right guy for this. It looks fun, looks funny. Have you seen Bad Lieutenant? I think
Uh-uh.
it's Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, something like that. Bad Lieutenant, New Orleans. So he's in that. He plays a like crackhead detective who is totally crazy. Um, and there's
Okay.
numerous parts where he's just doing these over the top facial expressions and just strange dialogue. It's a weird movie all around. I don't know if I recommend the movie necessarily, but go on YouTube and like look at like maybe there's like a clip, a super cut of like the funniest moments from Bad Lieutenant. Um, it's funny.
I just looked up Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans,
Yeah,
and Val Kilmer's in it, which would be a great segue to the next one. But also Firuza Balk is in it. Remember that lady?
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
what happened to her?
Um, good question.
That's all I had there.
Yeah, we'll do. I mean, the next podcast will
Should we
be.
do the Firuza Balkaverse?
Yeah, what happened to her?
Yeah.
Uh, anything else on this Nicolas Cage meta movie?
No, I'm gonna see it. Probably not in theaters though. When it's
Oh,
free, I
same.
would see
Yeah,
it. I don't know if I'd pay to see it, so I
yeah,
don't know how good that sells it. But yeah,
yeah. The Northman is one that I
I'd be
would.
interested in seeing that in theaters. Yeah,
Yeah, I probably won't,
I
but I would.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this next one, they want you to see it in theaters, but
Hmm.
it's called Top Gun 2:
Top Gun 2,
Return of the Top Gun.
Return of Top.
Yeah, where
Um,
Tom Cruise plays a top.
no, there's there's a new man on top. Top Gun.
So the trailer for this Top Gun is interesting because I know it's been in like development hell or whatever. It's been kind of stuck for a long time.
Yeah, COVID stuff.
Yeah, they made it like 2 or 3 years ago, but it's I mean Miles Teller is supposed to be the star, but if you look at the trailer, it's like
They
eighty
barely
percent of
show
it
him.
is Tom Cruise. Yeah, I'm wondering if they
Um,
recut it to prioritize Cruise or something.
I have a question on Miles Teller's mustache.
Yeah,
What?
I
What's that
haven't.
about? Like, just so he looks more like the
Goose.
guy from the 80s?
Yeah, I get that his dad in the Top Gun universe. His dad is Goose, right? The guy who died.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So they're just trying to make him look more like him, I guess, even though he looks nothing like Anthony Edwards.
I guess, but like, yeah, what a goofy looking guy though.
Miles Teller, like in
Yeah,
general, he looks goofy.
yeah.
I'm not. Wait, just in general, you think Miles Teller looks goofy?
Okay, he's got a weird head. All right, he's got a weird head. It's kind of like bulbous on the top and then flat from the forehead to the nose.
Hmm. This is interesting. I didn't know that, but I mean,
I'm a fan of the Miles Televerse though, from Whiplash to what else has he done?
War
Just
Dogs.
Whiplash. I just liked him in Whiplash, I
Have you
guess.
seen War
Yeah, I
Dogs?
saw War Dogs. It was good.
I like
I
that.
didn't love it though.
I like it quite a bit.
Whiplash was like excellent.
I like Whiplash a lot.
Um, is it the nose? Is it the like rectangularness of it? What's wrong with his head?
I don't know. I never thought there was anything wrong.
He's got a bad. There's something wrong with his goofy looking head.
He needs to get that checked out.
Yeah.
In a couple years, they're gonna be like, "Oh,
He was
Miles
in a movie
Miles
with
Teller has
yeah, he
cancer."
was in the Insurgent stuff with the Elgort.
Yeah,
Um, what a goofy name too, Elgort.
but that's but that's not Miles Teller.
Oh, he was in Fantastic Four,
Yeah,
the really bad one. Um, oh, he was in Footloose, which we. Oh, why didn't we talk about the Brewerverse? Or are we doing a thing
oh,
on that?
the Craig Brewer verse.
Yeah.
We'll do Brewer after you see Dolomite.
Okay. But yeah, Top Gun.
So Top Gun.
That stupid
Uh,
mustache, and like I get it, but like nobody has a mustache like that now unless they're trying to be funny. And is he
yeah.
like a silly guy? Maybe he's like, I'm doing a silly mustache.
I don't think he's supposed to be silly. I think he's supposed to be serious. Well,
Yeah, it's bad. Like
the
they need to
trailer,
CGI out that mustache like they did for Superman.
yeah, maybe the People's Republic of China will request that they edit out the mustache.
Hmm.
You know how there used to be there was a Taiwan flag on
Yes,
Maverick's jacket, and
they
the
changed
PR
it to
the
just like a
PRC,
triangle.
yeah, the PRC said you had to remove it. um, uh, but the trailer like first came out like 2 years ago, and there's like a Ford Bronco featured prominently at the beginning of the trailer, so it's like paid placement. Um, but those Bronco people didn't get their money's worth because that Bronco came out like 2 years ago. It's no longer exciting.
Yeah. One second, I got a baby issue.
No problem.
You ever have a baby come in with a thing of cottage cheese and ask you to open it? Um,
Pretty close, actually.
yeah,
More or less, I've had that happen. Yeah.
yeah, common occurrence, I guess. Um, Miles Teller CGI'd out Taiwan flag Ford Bronco.
Ford Bronco, white Ford Bronco.
I like the
Uh,
looks of the Bronco. It looks nice, but I would not spend that money on that car.
no, but well, I said white Ford Bronco, but that's just an OJ reference. The
Yeah.
Bronco, the Bronco in the trailer was not white. They'll probably never make a white one again.
Hmm. I would buy a white one just for the meme.
I'd
But
buy an OJ, yeah, OJ edition.
mhm. The juice edition, juiced up. There's like a juice mode on the car.
OJ trim.
It looks cool. I realize that this is DoD propaganda because that's how all these military movies get made with like real jets and stuff.
Yeah.
Is the military just is like, yes, we will fund this, and you can have
Hmm.
all these jets for free. If it is CGI, which I don't know if they've said anything about the levels of CGI, and I assume there's some amount, but it looks good,
Hmm.
right?
Trailer looks really sharp.
And I think had they done a Top Gun remake like 5 to 10 years ago, it would have been a CGI fest and would not look this good. But I think we've kind of moved beyond where people are like, yeah, everyone just wants to see everything on a green screen. And they're like, yeah, we need to have some real stuff in camera for it to actually look like not an animated movie.
Yeah. Um, yeah. It looked pretty good. Yeah, the DoD propaganda thing. That's kind of what I was thinking. Is it's like, uh, is this a movie to like make fighter pilots seem relevant again? Because
Just in time for another war.
well, and I was also thinking. I joked on Twitter about the Ghost of Kiev
Hmm.
being a viral marketing stunt for the Top Gun 2 movie. The entire war in Ukraine is actually just a viral.
If you zoom in on the picture, it actually is Miles Teller with his stupid little mustache.
Yeah, the entire conflict in Ukraine is just a viral marketing stunt for Top Gun 2.
Who's directing it? Do I know
I
this
don't know.
guy? Um, don't know this guy at all. Oblivion. Okay. And Tron Legacy. Oh, all right. Maybe it'll be good.
Uh, they
Um,
got um, they got Jennifer Connelly because the actual lady is too old now.
who was the actual lady?
I don't remember her name, but like Tom Tom Cruise's like girlfriend in the movie. They
Yeah.
had Haven't you seen it? It's like a meme. It's a very mean spirited meme that gets passed around where it's
Oh,
like
yeah, because she's like real gone
she
downhill
she
compared to other
looks
ladies.
yeah, she looks her age and Tom Cruise still looks like 35. So
Yeah, she's not drinking the baby blood.
Yeah, she does not. She doesn't have thetans.
I wish I had some though. Or I guess we all do, right? Got to get them out through auditing. Um, hold the cans. That's what they call them, the cans. They're gonna do that actually in this movie. I heard there's a scene where Miles Teller he has his mustache and he's grabbing onto the aluminum cans and he's telling all his like secret gay sex that he has, and then they're recording it. Um, it's a beautiful religion.
Religion of peace.
Yeah. We're gonna get DMCA'd on this. No, they're gonna
I
find it.
actually, yeah. I mean, I am not suicidal, and I love Scientology.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even specify what religion.
Oh, I never heard of it. I don't even
Yeah.
actually. I don't actually know what Scientology is.
Yeah.
Uh, Real talk, though. I mean, I'm just glad some of those guys have a religion.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, it's better than like. It doesn't seem worse
Is
than
it?
what. It doesn't seem worse
It
than
does
what
seem
most.
worse. It seems worse than what most people do. Yeah.
Does it seem worse than what most Hollywood people do?
Yeah, it kind of does.
I don't know. Are they in on like the kind of broader Hollywood project of
I think
uh
so.
mm,
Yeah.
okay,
But they're
actually,
just doing it for Xenu instead.
all right, I've changed my mind. I am now
Yeah.
neutral. I'm completely neutral on the topic of uh, a religion that I've
I
never
know
heard
I
of.
know a lot of people make comparisons between like Scientology and Mormonism or whatever, which is not what I call it. But it's just like no, like we don't like sue you if you leave the church. Like you're
Yeah,
allowed to leave at any point, and your family it doesn't have to like quarantine themselves from you if you leave the church. Like that's not a thing.
yeah.
And then people be like, "But my family did. My family didn't invite me to Thanksgiving." And it's like it's not the same, my dude. Like sorry, like you were probably a jerk, and that's why they didn't invite you.
Yeah, you threatened to talk about AOC or something.
Yeah. Um. The other thing I remember from Top Gun, or maybe this was Mission Impossible, but at some point, because this movie's been coming out for like 3 or 4 years now,
Yeah.
so at some point Tom Cruise was like, "Turn off the motion interpolation on your TV." There was like a special PSA. I thought it was for like a Top Gun commercial, and he's like, "Make sure to turn off motion interpolation on your 4K TV because it ruins movies."
Hmm. Yeah, he's right.
Hmm.
Um, I guess this movie has Val Kilmer in it. He doesn't. I don't think he appears in the trailer except a picture of him, but he's listed in the
Yeah, there's
credits.
just a picture, and you see him, and I'm like, okay, Kilmer.
I, I'm a Kilmer fan, so good for Kilmer.
Hmm.
I don't know if this was filmed before he lost his throat, but we'll see.
He lost his throat.
I mean, he can't like talk anymore. He talks through like a well, he can talk, but it's like it sounds like a kind of like a robot.
Mm.
Yeah, he had like cancer or something. I don't know, but
Hmm.
I like him. Hope the best for him.
Yeah.
Um, I hope the movie ends with the entire fleet being grounded because of like a cybersecurity issue.
That would be good. Or it ends with like them having a feud with the drone pilots or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, everyone just gets droned out of the air.
Or it ends with Anthony Edwards coming back to life, and then like they hug each other with their mustaches. Him and Miles Teller. Is Tom Cruise gonna die then? If Miles Teller's supposedly the main character, are they gonna that he's gonna be the new Goose?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, hopefully it ends with Miles Teller recreating the death of his father.
Well, yeah,
That
they're
would-
not gonna kill Miles Teller, are they? And it's just like a doomed generation, and then they'll make it in another 30 years, and it'll be
yeah.
Miles Teller's kid, and he'll have like a weird prosthetic forehead,
Also,
to look
also
more like
thinking
Miles Teller.
it'd be funny if the trailer features like this female fighter pilot, which, as I understand it, there's like very few, if any,
Yeah,
female fighter pilots, and the
I
ones
didn't
that
even notice that, but yeah, that is weird.
and of course they're going to do that for a movie, but like the ones I don't know the numbers on it, but apparently a lot of the accidents with fighter planes are the very small number of female pilots.
Speaking of that, there's a few scenes in the trailer where he like zips straight through like two planes flying in direct formation.
Hmm.
And I'm like, that like shows you've got some skill or whatever, but isn't that like insanely reckless? And like
Yeah.
and like you just got lucky. Like I don't think you're super skilled by doing it. I think you got lucky and you could have killed those people. Like
Yeah.
why
The
would you try
government.
to kill someone in a training exercise? Although I guess that's what Top Gun's about.
Yeah. Trying to kill people in training exercises.
Yeah.
The government loves when you do that.
Yeah.
It is funny that these things are like DoD propaganda, but then once you get there, the first thing they'll tell you is, "This isn't a movie. This isn't Top Gun." It's like, well, it's
Uh-huh.
the entire reason I'm here. You guys tricked me into being here.
Yeah, with Transformers and Top Gun.
Yeah.
Although that scene in Transformers where they're in like is it the C-130 and they're shooting the side gun at the Transformers, that's such a good scene.
I don't remember it. I mean, I've liked Transformers, but I don't remember
Yeah. Well, it's
that
like
scene.
those types of shots you couldn't get unless you had like the military in on it, and like when they have an A-10 Warthog, like do the thing, you know.
Mhm.
It's like cool. Um, so like, yeah, I guess it's a good thing that we fund making movies as propaganda. But
So my final take on Top Gun 2049 or whatever it's called
yeah,
is I'm not interested in it really. It looks cool, so I will see it
hmm
just to kind of like stay up with the culture. But I'm gonna guess. I bet the critics are gonna say it falls flat. It doesn't revive
yeah.
the magic of the original. They're gonna give it like it's gonna be like 65. It'll be okay. Like it'll be like it's
But that's still
cool.
fresh.
That's still fresh, but they're not gonna
I
love it.
think it's gonna go rotten.
Ooh,
Yeah,
well, it's a big budget movie to go rotten. Um, I think they'll kind of like it, and then I bet audience will just think it's cool because people.
yeah.
I've always been surprised by the like enduring love for the original Top Gun.
Hmm.
I mean, I like it. It's all right, but people like really like it, and I think people are just gonna be like, cool jets, Tom Cruise, and it'll get 85 or 90.
Yeah, I'm with you on that score. So I think it's gonna go like 55 critic, but then it's gonna be like 90 audience. They're just gonna
Mm,
love it.
yeah. All right, and then this last one. Well, I should ask. So I wanted to look at the Bob's Burgers movie trailer.
hmm
I've never really seen Bob's Burgers. I kind of know what it is, but did you watch the show? Do you know the show?
I watched the whole first season and then maybe the second season, and then I kind of waned just because I don't know where I left off, and it's like kind of hard to figure out where I was. And now I've seen just a couple episodes here and there, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, what I've seen had seems all right, but what did you think of the trailer?
Um, it just seemed like the show normally. I
Yeah.
don't see why I would go see this in theaters, but when it's on streaming, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Are these
Um,
Yeah.
I was gonna do the history of Bob's Burgers for you.
Yeah. I'd love to know.
So, um, there was a few shows that came out. The first one being Dr. Katz, Professional Therapist. Do you remember this?
No.
It was a Comedy Central show from the mid '90s to the late '90s.
Yeah,
Okay,
I definitely never
you
I'm not
never
aware of
watched
it.
this? You
I don't
should
think
watch it.
so.
Okay, well,
I'll look it up.
so it was colored in a very impromptu way called Squiggle Vision. Okay, there was other shows that were colored in Squiggle Vision as well, which I'm going to get to. One of them being Science Court, which I remember liking as a kid as well. Um, but it had uh, the premise was um, a therapist played by Jonathan Katz would be doing talk therapy with these crazy characters, but the crazy characters were kind of improving based off of their own comedy um, bits. So he'd have comedians on and he'd be like therapizing them, and
Mhm.
they'd kind of just do their bits, and then they'd animate it, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah, yeah.
it was kind of a fun show, and it was kind of like totally improvised, like no script to it. And then they roughly animated in this squiggle vision. It was called squiggle vision because the lines would change between each scene because it was done super quickly and cheaply. So it wasn't important that the lines lined up nicely. So it kind of like vibrated. So a lot of people like hated it because like it's
I know
almost
I've seen that
unwatchable.
art style. I know I've seen that. I don't This is sounding a
Yeah.
little more familiar, but I don't really remember it.
Yeah, and so anyway, that was a show I watched it back then, I remember, and I enjoyed it. I haven't actually gone back and like revisited it. I would like to, like knowing a lot of these people now. But H. John Benjamin was in it as the therapist's son, um, I believe, who is the voice of Bob, if you're unaware.
Mm.
And then H. John Benjamin goes on to do another show with the same animation company but a different producer, who is Lauren Brashard, who ends up doing Bob's Burgers. But they do a show called Home Movies, which is one of my favorite shows from the Cartoon Network era. And that was done in Squiggle Vision for the first 4 episodes, and then they switched to just regular like Flash animation.
Mhm.
But it's still kind of the idea. The first 4 episodes were actually totally improvised, and it was supposed to be like a family comedy. Um,
I
and
remember this. I remember home videos
yeah, and
vaguely.
Bob H. John Benjamin plays Coach McGurk, and he also plays one of the kids. And it's a good show. It's funny, holds up. Um, there's yeah, I still talk about fat father syndrome. Look that up if you're interested. Um,
I've seen you reference that.
yeah.
But I
And then so yeah. Anyway, home movies happened, and I like loved that show, and then it got canceled, and I was like very upset. So I was like, what's going to be the next thing? Like, because they I was like, they should keep going. Like this was funny. So Brendan Small, who was the co-creator of that show and the main voice guy, he went on and made Metalocalypse, which I know a lot of people like. I didn't really like because I'm not a metal guy. Um, but then Lauren Brashard went on to make Bob's Burgers with H. John Benjamin, and it took a while to get made, but that's kind of like the successor to home movies in a way, similar style of humor. And so anyway, that's why I watched the first season, because I was like, hey, I loved home movies, let's watch this. But yeah, I don't know if I love it as much, but it's good stuff because it's definitely more explicitly for kids, I guess, whereas home movies was explicitly for not for kids.
Mhm. So they got Kristen Shaw. She's got a very unique, voice and persona. Gary Cole, who everyone would recognize. Zach Galifianakis is going to be does a voice for the movie. Aziz Ansari,
Hmm.
Eugene Merman, people would probably he does a bunch of voice stuff. I think.
Yeah, the he's Eugene,
Oh,
the
okay.
son.
Oh no, they got Sam Cedar. You know that guy,
Yeah.
like the leftist podcast guy.
Hmm.
He's a voice.
Oh, another interesting thing is the daughter in it, uh, who sounds very masculine.
Hmm.
They switched it to being a girl at the last minute. It was going to be a son, so it was going to be two sons and a daughter. But
Hmm.
they just were like, "Oh, you're a girl now," and he didn't change his voice at all.
All right, so is Bob Burgers gonna be any good?
I don't see why this movie would be any better than the show or any different than it, but
Yeah,
go see it if you're a fan.
yeah. I mean, I remember when the Simpsons movie when they
Uh
did
huh.
that, and I thought I was like excited for it, but then I watched it and I was like, yeah, this is just the show. Like, I mean, they tried to up the stakes a little bit, but with animation, like you could do all that with animation anyway. So like, who cares? Like, I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, I remember being like not that impressed with the Simpsons movie. I remember thinking it was fine, but I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of my general sense for TV animated series that go to the big screen.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, the kind of people who review movies seem to like Bob's Burgers, so I'm going to say critic score 80, audience score 70, because the adults who would review an animated movie, no, that's going to be like 60. They'll be like, was not true to the series or something like that.
I think it's gonna be like 70-70. It's just gonna be okay.
Okay, I think I said 80-60. You going with 70-70. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Anything else you want to get into?
Um.
Maybe you could thank our
Oh.
sponsor.
Yeah. Thanks to our sponsor, MeUndies. Now with the Garfield print. Go get the Garfield print today. Also, Gilbert Gottfried died.
That's right. He did.
Um,
R.I.P.
Voice acting, Affleck Duck.
Yeah, legend of voice acting.
Yep.
Iago.
Yeah, sad, but he's dead. So that's the end of that.
Yeah.
Um, go buy the special edition Gilbert Gottfried MeUndies. It has all his animated characters on it.
Oh my goodness. I hope that's. Can you make custom MeUndies? Maybe I'll make those.
I don't know. Maybe we should look more into our sponsors
And I
before
mean, there's
talking about them.
yeah, and there's the box where it's like, you acknowledge that you have the rights to this image. I'll just say yes, but I don't.
I don't understand the point of MeUndies. Is it that they're comfortable?
Well, it says when everybody is
Oh, they've
comfy.
got a pocket in them. Is that the reason?
When everybody's comfy, the world is a better place.
Like, why would you be listening to a podcast and then buy these?
I mean, everyone needs underwear, so
Use
I think
code CoolFrasier on MeUndies.com. Get your CoolFrasier MeUndies print.
for 120% off.
Build a
They'll,
pack.
if you use the CoolFrasier code, they'll actually pay you to
Oh, you can get
order.
socks too.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this. They've got a very plus size vitiligo guy selling their undies. Okay.
Plus size vitiligo.
Yeah.
That'll be the episode name.
Yeah. That's a good name.
Plus size vitiligo with CoolFrasier.
Oh man. Yeah, I guess that's all we got.
Okay, cool. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for joining everyone. And once again, this has been Cool Frasier, and I'm very cool, and I'm listening.
I'm in the walls and I'm listening.
Is that what he says at the end of the Frasier?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I've
I mean,
never seen a Frasier either.
I've kind of seen it. I saw Cheers. I don't know what he
You
said
saw
on Cheers
Cheers?
though. A little bit. I mean, I used to watch Cheers sometimes.
I never had seen a Cheers. That just meant it was time to turn it off. That and MASH. If MASH came on, it was like, I'm like,
Yeah,
TV off.
that song
MASH
was
meant
called
shows
like
were over.
"Suicide is Painless," I think, which is they wouldn't do that now. They wouldn't name a song that now.
Is that the name of the MASH song?
I think so.
Oh, that's sad.
Suicide is Painless, main title. MASH. Yep, that's it. They actually have lyrics too, but I don't think
Instead
the
of
show
getting
has
smushed by an RV, you get mashed by one.
lyrics. Yeah. Suicide is painless. It brings on many changes, and I can take or leave it if I please.
Dark day in sitcom about Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Where's our global war on terror sitcom? Just some guys riffing about killing people in Afghanistan.
Oh, you mean United States of Al?
Is that a show?
That's a show. The only reason I know about it is because when we withdrew from Afghanistan, they did like a special episode about it.
How have I
And
not
then
heard of this?
and then I just saw like the ad for it, and the ad got passed around as like a joke because it was so absurd. United States of Al.
And it's about the global war on terror?
I think it's just about a Muslim guy trying to make it in America. But they had like a withdrawal from Afghanistan episode.
No, I mean like on the front lines. Like MASH.
Oh yeah. We need a show set in Iraq in 2005.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, go to MeUndies.com, promo code Suicide is Painless to get your MASH themed underwear.
Bye, everybody. When your eyes are close together, you can see things far away. But when your eyes are far apart, I will hold you in my heart. You got a wide pupillary distance. They're far apart from each other. Anybody know that song? This is called Easter Eggs.